Just want to offer you a word of welcome. This is the second year that the parishes of St. Anthony's and Our Lady of Victory and Christ the King had sponsored a summer speakers series. And I hope that you note that the next one is actually quite soon. It's July 10th. So it's only a couple of weeks. There's a very well-known Englishman coming, Father Timothy Radcliffe, to speak. And then on August 4th is Justice Ann Burke from Illinois. So there should be more information on some of the posters, and they'll be in your parishes and in the newspaper as well. Tonight's speaker is Father J. Bryan Hehir, priest from the Archdiocese of Boston, ordained in '66, and then in the '70s, he taught me, and he taught Father Costello, and then, because he's much younger, in the '80s he taught Father Hession. So he's responsible for the three of us. But it's more important that maybe 12 or 13 years later, I became his boss in Washington. So you should always be nice to your students, because you never know where they're going to turn up again. He's currently the Parker Gilbert Professor in Religion and Public Life at the Kennedy School at Harvard. And he's also the Secretary of Health Services of the Archdiocese of Boston. You can read his extensive CV, curriculum vitae, on the poster. When I called his office, I talked to his assistant and said, "Now look, I worked with him in Washington, and I know that there's a short CV and a long curriculum vitae." I said, "I don't want that long one. It goes on for pages and pages and pages, citing all the articles." He took great exception to me asking for the shortened version, and so be careful, he may give you the long version before he talks. It's a pleasure to welcome Father Hehir to the Cape.
Thank you very much. Whoa, this is not... This on now? The red light is on. Okay now? Okay. Well, it's a delight to be here. It is true that I taught Father Costello and Father Hoy, and I was going to take out their blue books to see how it looked 35 years later. We worked together at the Bishops' Conference I was there seemingly forever. Father Hoy was there for a shorter time, but was the boss. But usually when this long curriculum vitae that he refers to is read out, there's always a part of my life that went on there that no one ever talks about. And that was during those years in Washington at the Bishops' Conference, one of the things I did was to write speeches that other people gave. And in Washington, that's a growth industry. There are people who do this all the time. And those of us who did it used to gather periodically to talk about what it was like to spend your life writing speeches that other people gave. And I had a friend who wrote for a senator from the Midwest. And the senator not only never thanked him once for a speech, the senator never read a speech before he gave it. So my friend, at the end of 5 years, decided he would manifest his pent-up frustration with the senator. It was an election year. It was in the fall, and the senator came in on a Friday afternoon, picked a speech up off the desk, headed out to the Midwest, stepped into a room just like this. Hall was packed, and he began the speech, and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I know you have declining faith in government. I know you think we can be neither efficient nor effective. I'm here tonight to tell you we can be both, efficient and effective. I'm here to tell you that we can hold down the arms race and not sacrifice the security of the country. We can make new friends among the Arab states and not sacrifice our relationship with Israel. We can hold down unemployment and not do it at the price of rising inflation. And my task tonight is to tell you exactly how government can do these things." Turn to page 2, and at the top of page 2 it said, "Good luck, buddy, you're on your own." Now, I never did it to Hoy or any of the people he was responsible to, but that was just out of charity. So, I'm glad to come. I've taken a topic that I hope is familiar in the sense that you would know what I'm trying to do. Catholics as citizens and disciples. Essentially, it is an ancient topic. Christians in the early empire, Roman Empire, were known as both citizens and Christians. So what I'm really trying to get at is that as Catholics in this country, we are, in a sense, the beneficiaries of two great legacies. One legacy that is civil, and political, and cultural, and that is from the country of which we are a part. The other legacy that is actually much older, that is religious, moral, and in a sense, those two legacies come together in the conscience of Catholics who are citizens, as we decide how we seek to live our lives, to be faithful to our faith, and at the same time to contribute to the life of the society around us. That complementarity, however, admits of a good deal of tension. It is not the case, necessarily, that the larger society thinks and acts according to the gospel or according to Catholic teaching. It is at the same time a kind of challenge for us to try to touch the life of the secular world in all its dimensions with the gift and grace of the kingdom. That, of course, is what Jesus invited the disciples to be: light, leaven, salt. Those images, light, leaven, salt, have one similar characteristics. Whatever light, leaven, and salt touch, it changes. And that's the way the kingdom works. The kingdom is the power of God set loose in history by the person and ministry of Jesus. And that power flows through history the way a current guides and directs a great river. And the task of Christians in each age is to try to take the depth of the current of the kingdom and bring it to the surface of life, where it might heal and unite and direct and give purpose and meaning to people's lives and the life of societies and the world. So Catholics as citizens and disciples is all about this. How do we inherit these two traditions? How do we put them together in terms of our own pattern of life? How we contribute to the welfare of the society by drawing on the vision of the kingdom and then seeking to penetrate the life of society as life, light, leaven, and salt. In order to look at this task, I thought what I would do is the following. I want to look first at what I'll call the content of the Catholic social vision. Not all of Catholic faith, not even all of Catholic moral vision. I'm going to look at one dimension of the Catholic moral vision, how we function as citizens in a society according to our own understanding of our faith. Secondly, I'll shift ground from the content of our vision and talk about the context that we function in as Americans. Look at the character of the society. Look at where Catholicism is located in American society. And then thirdly, I'll try and test the social vision by three broad cases. The cases being the kind of empirical questions the society must think about and decide, and what Catholic vision has to say to those cases. The cases being war and peace, health care, and the life issues. Those are issues that cut across our society. So let's look first at the content of the Catholic social vision. There's a wonderful phrase in the Hebrew scriptures of the Old Testament that says, where there is no vision, people perish. Where there is no vision, people perish. The idea here is, of course, that unless we live by a vision that calls us to make the world a better place, it is all too easy to decide that the way the world is at the present moment is good enough. And where there is no vision, people perish. Catholic social vision is rooted in three different places. It is rooted first in the